Okay, so what are the tools and techniques that could be used in order to execute those attacks? Yeah, conduct the described methods. Yeah, to apply those methods in order to gain advantage of human factor and social engineering. So there are those psychological things, psychological techniques, I would say. All these are based on the very fundamental psychological ground. So I'm not saying, and I do not certify that all these results are true, but this is the state of the science at the moment. So there is no NLP or hypnosis here, right? So this all is scientific truth, yeah, as we know it. And there are technical means of, first of all, harvesting information required to conduct attacks. And there is even this really handy tool, social engineering toolkit, that is a way behind any other tool set that could be used in order to arrange those kinds of attacks. Yeah. And there are some tricks and advices that I will share in the end in order to give you direction on how to sharpen your social engineering skills in technical perspective. So let's first look around what is the psychology behind all this. Yeah. So I will try to make it really quick because there is a lot of information to cover, but let's go one by one through those influence methods. So these are what they are called. Yeah, so these literally are psychological principles that let one people influence other people. They are based on our similarities. Yeah, so people try to maintain their individuality, but in the end, we share a tremendous portion of our DNA, and we are from culture to culture there are differences. Yeah, there are even structural differences, but socially we are more or less the same. Yeah, so we do not really differ in terms of psychological reactions to different events or actions of others. So yeah, there are some deviations. There are psychological disorders that make people irrelevant. Yeah, make people ambivalent to certain stimuli, to certain events, and those people are most probably not your best social engineering target. Yeah, and there are, like, statistically there is one sociopath per 100 people. Yeah, so there are chances, there is 1% chance that you will fail in your social engineering engagement just because you have chosen the wrong target. But the good thing that is that sociopaths are detected with a good success rate. So yeah, let's go. So first of all, there is this scarcity principle. This is the high value that is the result of limited amount. Yeah, so everything that's not really large in amount is valued higher in price. This is purely psychological. This is why platinum is has more value than gold, and gold has more value than silver, and silver has more value than steel, but only steel from all these has some material value in the end. Yeah, so this is something based on the small amounts and our willingness to have more of something that others just don't. Okay, and this is really working out in terms of time, because the resources are limited normally, and the time is the only resource that is in no way recoverable. So we cannot get more time. Time just is, and we can just spend it effectively. Yeah. So the most critical resource, limited in amount, uh, looks like the situation, the mostly artificial, yeah, in a business environment, when you really have to hurry. So if someone is trying to speed you up, someone is pushing you to do something really fast, this already may mean that you are being social engineered in a way, maybe with a good intention, but still, this is a direct use of scarcity principle. So maybe this is a manipulation. Just look around and see what happens. Authority. Also, that's basically, I think, the most important and the strongest psychological principle in our culture. We are social creatures, and we, for the sake of our social survival, delegate authority to a limited number of people. So there are others that rule the rest. Yeah, so there are some people who just are entitled to be of higher authority, and we raise our children basically in the environment that makes this authority plausible. Yeah, so we teach them to respect people in uniform, to respect the elderly, and so on. So being of authority, or successfully pretending of being of authority, or even being associated with an authority figure like an assistant to CEO or something, is really a successful point of issuing the social engineering attempts of attack. Yeah, so you have to know that people value authority, people comply to authority, and this is the strong tool in social engineers toolkit. Liking. So people normally like people who look or behave like them. So this likeness between people, if you successfully demonstrate that you are similar to a person, this person is more likely to say yes to you. Okay, this is natural. And there are ways to make people like you more. Yeah, artificial ways, techniques, and skills that could be employed in order to raise this success rate. Also, you see there is some duality here. So first of all, we like someone who is like us, and we are more willing to help to people who we like. So this word has two meanings, yeah, and maybe that's why we understand, we behave like that, or I'm just missing the cause and effect in this relationship. Yeah, so maybe it's the other way around, but whatever. This is how things are, and this is how social engineering attacks could be performed. Like consistency, really important thing to understand here is that people, once they permit something in their life, accept something, embrace something, and start acting in a certain way, they have this inertia in them. So once you said yes to a person, if they are continuing, if they go on asking you for a little bit more, most probably you will be tending to say yes to them more and more, again and again. So yeah, we can see that in different fraudulent activities in the streets. Yeah, so just starting from a simple favor that is unpolite to be rejected, yeah, to be denied. Certain fraudsters are trying to involve their victims into a more and more high stake communication, and in the end just leave them without money and maybe even clothes. Yeah, so Let's not forget about that. Just raising the stakes between the conversations or throughout a single conversation based on this consistency psychological principle, we can conduct a social engineering attack. So always start from something small and then go on with extending your demand and just raising the value of the favor you are requesting from the target. Social proof. This is basically just acting in a way that acting in a way as everyone else acts in the situations of incomplete information. So every time you see that something happening and demands your reaction, look around, see what the others do, and behave in the same manner. So you see that a lot of people are running from somewhere. Yeah, so they're just running, passing you by. You are not going to the source of this behavior. Yeah, you are starting to run with them, with the crowd. This is not an instinct. This is a social ability, social skill that we have developed throughout our history. So, and this can be really damaging. So, for example, this bystander effect, this thinking that someone else will take responsibility about what's going on right now. Yeah, when someone is a victim of a crime or someone is suffering a health issue, a health crisis, and no one helps them just because they think that other people will help them. This is also the manifestation of this social proof principle, and this is really scary. So every time you find yourself in a situation like this, then you require immediate help, please do not just show it, okay? You have to address your request for help to a specific individual, because that explicitly identifies the person you are requesting to help. And this might resolve the issue, but just asking for help someone or a group of people, it is not efficient. It is as inefficient as as large as the number of those people. Okay, so there were cases in history when people just did not react, thinking that someone other than them will do the job. Okay. Reciprocation. What it is, it's just giving back. Okay, so if someone is approaching you with a compliment or with a small gift or something, this might be not a sign of attack already, but this certainly is the sign of applying this reciprocation psychological principle. So in order to get something, you have to create this impression that the person owes you something. Yeah, so give a smile, compliment the good look, in extreme cases, but not on the first engagement, of course. Give a unintentional present, a gift. Okay, so this all is reciprocation in action, and even like holding the door that is not controlled by the pass cards. Yeah, and then when holding this door to a person and letting them into the building, and then going with them side by side to the next door that requires the pass, yeah, to enter. You may find yourself in a situation when this person that is having this badge, this pass, will let you in. Okay, this is really common. This is reciprocation in action too.